Got it right. That's what I'm talking about. I timed that bad boy just right. Man, that is so beautiful. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome, welcome, welcome to a special edition here during the Memorial Day weekend. And this is Sean White, founder and creator of Transformation Greatness, along with SBN, the Small Business Network podcast. And we are back on here again for another installment, which, by the way, this is going to be episode 252. We have here the founder of the spiritual mindset, the manifestation coach herself, Miss Brianna Rodriguez, hailing all the way out from my hometown from New York City. Come on now. Knicks fans, hey, Knicks, you did a fantastic job. I mean, look, you took it to game seven. You did everything and wish that you could. Unfortunately, things didn't work out though. But that just lets you know the heart of a champion. I also let you know as well as fellow New Yorkers that we are grinders and that we work hard and we got a solid work ethic. And we not going to fall down until the last second. We're going to still keep on climbing back up. So I just wanted to go ahead and mention that. But for all you that's tuning in, we're gonna go ahead and move forward with this series. So, for those that's catching us on the live, put in the hashtag live. Let us all know where you're tuning in from. And of course, if you're catching us on a replay, go ahead and put in hashtag replay. Just a little bit about me, and then we're gonna jump into our very special guest here. Once again, my name is Sean A. White. I am the founder and creator of this beautiful brand called Transformation Greatness, which is all about motivating, encouraging, and inspiring the masses. And with that, I have developed the skill set and the gifts of being a speaker, a coach, a hypnotherapist practitioner. In addition, excuse me, I'm also a radio and TV personality with the Small Business Network with my partner, Dr. James McConnell, and I'm a part of many other organizations as well. So, with that, once again, we have here our manifestation coach, which is the founder of Spiritual Mindset, the one and only, like I mentioned, Miss Brianna Rodriguez. Hello, ma'am, and welcome back to the show.
Hello, thank you for having me again. Hi, everyone. Happy Memorial Day weekend. My name is Brianna. I'm a spiritual life coach slash manifestation coach. And I also like to say now that I'm a spiritual creator because I do anything when it comes to spirituality, where I create manifestation journals, books, digital products. I do it all to help people empower themselves and find their light again.
Excellent, excellent. So let's go ahead and dive into the show. Let's not keep the audience waiting.
Yes.
So, Brianna, how did you first become interested in manifestation?
So I would say that it started at like a young age before I even know what the word meant. I always been gifted and talented to say like anything I would say would just come to my reality, or I would like dream things, it would just come to happen. But since I'm the only like person that's I come from a Christian background, so I really didn't have that insight or spiritual insight until maybe I'll say 18 to 21, honestly, when I got like more into it and I had to like dive into other spiritual coaches that I just seemed onto Google, YouTube, started meditating and stuff like that. And that's mostly when I got more in tune with my manifestation side around that time, 18 to 21.
Wow, so 18 to
Yeah.
21, and that's what really it boosted your curiosity in terms of that, huh?
Yes, because like I said, I always came from like a Christian side, went to church, really didn't have anybody else in my family that, was into meditation, psychic abilities, mindset. It was basically only me, the curious one. So at that age, I had my first spiritual journey, and it was a lot, a lot of healing, a lot of shadow work, like I mentioned last time, but definitely transformational growth. And I was able to get the knowledge and understand who I am, the power I have, and the purpose that I have on this earth.
Fantastic, fantastic. I like this question here.
Yes.
Are there any books or resources you personally recommend for learning more about manifestation or the art of manifestation?
So it's a couple. I have like a whole bookcase that's on side of my TV. Of course, the Law of Attraction book. I read a little bit of Rich Dad Poor Dad. Something my partner read. They told me to read it. It was actually good. And also my actual book. It's 369 Manifestation Journal. I made it, I'll say, a year and a half, but it's mostly helps people be more consistent when it comes to their journaling and to, put their affirmations or desires 3 to 6 to 9 a day, and then, use the law of attachment, just let it be. So that's on Amazon. Those are 3 books that I generally use.
Do you have a book right now which you can show everyone?
Had to give me 1 second because I said it's like
Yeah.
a shelf.
Okay.
All right.
Or like, or and also too, if you can bring like a just a couple of books that you could show as far as to the listening audience.
Let me see. So this one and this one. All right. Coming back. So
All
I brought
right.
books.
Cool. 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 Cool.
All right. So this was like my original book that I used to read, which is called The Awakened Psychic. So
Okay.
all the spiritual abilities, where it be clear cognition, clairvoyance, clairaudience, and also how to tap into your psychic abilities. Like I said, I always knew, like, always speaking things to existence or having dreams, things to come true, that I was somewhat psychic. So this will be the first book that I dive into. Like, if you really try to tap into your spiritual abilities, or if you feel like you have spiritual abilities. So,
Right.
Psychic by Kayla Amorose. If I come closer,
Okay.
my first one.
Cool.
And then I dive into my crystals. I love crystals. This is my second thing. And so crystals for witches, but you don't have to be a witch. It just explains each crystals that would be good for your life, whether it be love, abundance, health. It specifies how to use it, what day, what moon. So if you really try to tap into that, if you're a crystal girly like me, this would be a great book. Crystal for Witches by Eliza Mabel.
Okay.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah, I told
Awesome.
you bookshelf. Like I did tap
Excellent.
into it. Like I said, I need to get into more of my reading, but those are the ones that got me more into who I am. And this is one personally that I made. So this is how my book looks like. So it's Boss Babes 369 Manifestation Journal by me, Brianna Rodriguez, and I can show you where it says Unleash Your Magic, and then
Hmm.
I'll show you a couple pages. So this is how it looks inside. You put,
Okay.
and then why does this method works? Explains the actual 369 method, and then this is the way you use a journal basically. So it says the formula, how to use it, 369, basically repeat every day the formula, and then it'll go for manifestation brainstorming. So that's when you put your manifestations down, 369. So it's like that, pretty much that. So
Excellent, excellent stuff, excellent stuff. So, for those that's listening, once again, and welcome to a special edition here of Transformation Greatness, along with SBN, the Small Business Network podcast. We have here the founder of Spiritual Mindset and Manifestation Coach Extraordinaire, Miss Brianna Rodriguez, hailing all the way from New York City, guys.
yes.
And so I like that too because most creators, they're definitely readers and they have an extensive library. I remember the late Bob Proctor, he used to always talk about that, right? If you really want to know what a person's really about, find out as far as on their library first
Hmm.
and foremost. If they have a very small library, then he said he will run, literally run. But if they have an extensive library, right? That gives you a great indication that they're a great student and they're always constantly learning and improving and getting better. So that is absolutely amazing stuff. And cool. So we're going to go ahead and move down to the third one,
Yes.
which this is a good one as well. How do emotions and feelings
Hmm.
influence the manifestation process? This is a good one, folks. I hope that you guys listen up and take notes.
Yes, so I would say emotions and feeling is definitely needed when it comes to manifestation, because if you're not believing or speaking in a tone of your manifestation that you actually believe it, or with the excitement, right? Or the actual belief, nor are you gonna believe yourself, or the universe is gonna believe it yourself. So I could be saying like, let's for example, I'm rich. That does not, it doesn't
Yeah,
give like
yeah,
that I'm
yeah.
rich. It's like you're pretending, right? So when it comes to emotions, even when it comes to the visualization that we spoke about last week, that's definitely something that will help you invoke that feeling of emotion, getting you excited, aligning yourself with that energy of your manifestation. Like, I'm so excited, or I like to sing because I'm like, sometimes I'm a singer. So I'm like, I'm so rich, get my energy up there. I'm,
Right.
into that frequency, but also knowing that I already am. It was like, I'm so rich, I got this, I manifested it on this day. Thank you, showing that gratitude, compared to like, yeah, I'm rich. I got a successful business. Like, it's not giving. You could just tell the
Correct.
confidence. So emotion and feeling is everything when it comes to manifesting. Because when it comes from your thoughts first, and then you have to evoke the feeling, whether it be mentally or saying it out loud or writing things down. You have to specify. You're excited. You're so happy. I'm so grateful to actually align yourself with that frequency. If it doesn't, then it's not gonna really happen. Which I learned. Like before, I used to just like I'll be what's the word? A wisher. That's what I used to call it. Like someone like, I wish I had like $5,000. But I'm not doing anything to even align that energy or even to even have that opportunity put myself into that environment. I would just like wish to the universe instead of actually, manifesting or putting an inspired action towards it.
Correct. Correct. Side question. No, I mean that's actually 1,000%. That's something which that I also teach my clients and students as well because it's more like, okay, this the way that it was explained to me. Uh-oh. Is she there? Did we lose her? Ladies and gentlemen, look like we're having a little technical difficulties, so I will wait as far as for our guest to come back. But the way that it was explained to me, and I'll just tell the listener audience until she comes back, and it looks like that she is coming back. Okay. Well, the way, uh-oh, okay. Well, I'll wait for her to come back. The way in which that was explained to me, folks, is that our bodies is just like a radio. It's just like a radio. And so we work on a particular frequency. And I explained this before. So the way it works is this: you are right here, right? Let's say, for instance, the goals of what you're looking to achieve is actually right here. Okay, it looks like I'm bringing her back on. So I'll go ahead
Yeah,
and
so
explain this as well. Okay, so you back online. You're good to go?
I'm sorry.
No, that's fine. That's all good. Okay, so where I was at, Brianna, is that, and we was talking about frequency, and then I'll break that down real quick, and then we move on to our next question. So the way that it works, and this is what was explained to me, which is so brilliant, right? Is that we're all right here on this particular frequency, right? So we're on an even level playing field. Now, what happens, just like what you mentioned with the example, that your goal is, I want $5,000, right? Okay, totally fine, right? Whether it's a million, 2 million, doesn't make a difference, right? Put any number you want, doesn't matter, right? So $5,000 is right up here. Now, when you're speaking and you're asking for that, but your energy is low, right? You notice something. You were started right here. Your goal $5,000 is right here, ladies and gentlemen. But yet your frequency in asking it is down here. So, Brianna, can you do that example again? Like, if you want $5,000, like how? Give me an example of a low frequency of like saying, I want 5,000. You want?
Oh, sure. So what I would say back then, I was like, I'm so not even with the gratitude, but like I just wish I had $5,000. Um,
Right.
I know I'm broke, but I hope I get $5,000. Still down.
Mm-hmm.
um,
So, yeah,
I see other people getting $5,000. Why am I not worthy of $5,000?
good. Now, I want you to stay right there. So, ladies and gentlemen, I want you to pay attention to my hands. So, as she was mentioning that, what happens is that, remember, she started right here. The goal is up top right here, 5,000. But now what happens, the goal goes up much higher, and yet she's going lower. Now, you see, as far as all this space right here, it's a ton of space right there. in which now that equals to frustration because she's working at that frequency because she knows she wants the $5,000, which is up here, right? She already said that, but yet her actions and her tone and her feelings and whatever's around her environment or whoever she's associated with at that time when she's speaking that, and she's getting maybe a low vibration, right? You may be getting, she may be around toxic people. She may be around people that's like, what? Wow, man, you crazy. You know what's going on right now with the economy. You know, you in the hood, whatever the case, fill in the blanks. So now she still wants that, but it's not at the frequency in which that she needs to be in order for the 5,000 to come and for her to now be in alignment. Okay, I'm gonna give you guys another quick example because some people may not have caught that.
Mm.
And I love describing this. So now I'm gonna talk about this in terms of my therapy expertise. Because the subconscious mind is 90% of our most dominant thoughts. I talk about this a lot. You got the conscious mind, you got the critical mind, subconscious mind. Subconscious mind is 90%. That pretty much rules our day-to-day life and activities. It's pretty much, it makes us in a sense. What happens is this: when you're saying that, man, I need 5 grand, man, I need 10 grand, you're saying that consciously, right? You're saying that consciously, and yet the critical mind is that thought is going through your critical mind, which is basically your filter, right? Or the gatekeeper, if you will. However, because your frequency and how the way you're saying it, you're not putting no feeling. You're really not putting any emotion to it. You're not affirming it in a correct manner and tone. You're not making action steps, right? In order to go ahead and get closer to the goal. So now what happens subconsciously is being filed back here, and your subconscious mind is coming to the forefront and it's like, man, come on now.
Mm.
But man, when we tried this 6 months ago, or 3 months ago, or 5 years ago, or 10 years ago, and so now your subconscious mind is basically reminding you, right, that yeah, I understand you want the 5 grand, but I'm gonna give you a bunch of examples on why you can't get the 5 grand because you didn't do the work to get the 5 grand before. Because remember the last time you tried to do it, and the other time, and the other time, and the other time, and the other time, and so now what happens is that you're still saying the 5 grand, but your frequency is so low and your belief level is so low that the creator, divine, whatever you believe in, it's like a contradiction. It's like, I hear you, but how can I release it to you? Because when I do, you're putting a block or a restriction on it on your own accord. So you see how you're just passing by your goal, and your goal is going up much higher, and you're going lower. And that's where the frustration comes into play. So when I learned that and understood that, I was like, wow, that is a game changer. Does that make sense to anybody? I hope it did. Did it make sense to you, Brianna? Cool. Cool. Indeed. So let's go ahead and yeah, I just wanted to go ahead and share that little bit of information, but let's go ahead and move into the fourth one. I like this too. How important is having a clear vision in the manifestation process? Ooh.
Very important
Ooh.
that for experience, I used to be a person that would be over the place when it came to my manifestations. I was just like, I wasn't Pacific one. I wasn't like detailed. I didn't have emotion. I didn't have a clear vision. So I was like, I would start with the I ams. That's something I definitely changed. I am abundant. I'm this. I'm that. But I never see anything that like um I wanted to come into fruition because I wasn't being clear with that visualization or
Mm,
clear writing down or being clear speaking that or clear feeling of what I actually want. So when I started learning to be more Pacific, I'm like, okay, now before I used to not do dates. But I was like, let me test it. Let me test if I actually said I want this. I'm so happy and grateful that I have, you know, 5 new followers on Instagram on this date. I'm so happy and grateful that I'm gonna receive more. Thank you, universe, and let it go. I don't think about it. I just let it go. Have a clear vision. Within that date, it comes. Oh wow, thank you, universe. I have 5 extra followers on Instagram. Can we double it? I know, we know we're powerful, right? So let's double it to 10. and then keep on going forward. So it's being clear and also believing yourself and having confidence with the creator that you know you could do it. So why not, stop on one goal, but being specific on that goal and getting more as well.
Powerful, powerful. Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. Love it, love it, love it. I want to ask you this.
Yes.
What role does self belief and self worth play in successful manifestation? Mm.
Again, self belief is everything. Because if you don't believe in yourself, then who's the creator? God ain't gonna believe in you. Let's be realistic. If you don't believe that you deserve these things, that you are worthy, why do you think the creator is gonna give it to you? Just like me saying, if I don't feel that I'm worthy of $5,000, and you have somebody that's on the higher frequency that's like in the same bracket of manifesting $5,000 and being specific, being clear, know that they deserve it, know that they're worthy, self believing, high chances that they're going to receive it compared to you because you're on a low vibration or you're a negative mindset and you don't have that self belief or self worth that you're worthy of good things.
Absolutely.
So that's something I definitely learned through my spiritual journey where like I would before, like I said, I didn't have that much guidance. I had to almost like do it myself, and then somehow I became this amazing teacher where people came to me. But I would manifest without believing or knowing my self-worth. For example, like I would just say like I want this type of relationship, right? But I don't believe that I'm worthy of that relationship because I had so much toxic relationships. So
Mm.
tending to go to things you're comfortable or believe that you don't really deserve it because you have such a pattern. You know what I'm saying? Like you have such a
Mhm.
pattern, like, oh, I'm not gonna receive this amazing relationship where I get this, I get that. They treat me equally. We don't have toxicity. But something I learned that if you have self belief, you actually believe in yourself, and you know that you're worthy of this love. It will come. For example, I'll tell you how I met my spouse of 2 years. Coming next week will be our 2 year anniversary.
Okay.
Yes. So
Awesome.
her in 2022, but I was doing a lot of self healing around like 2021. I just got out of a toxic relationship. That's when I learned there was a pattern that either I attract people because I'm a very positive person. I attract people that's on a low vibrational frequency that need a lot of
Right.
fix
Right.
and something I learned that I used to have people pleasing, but I would love to fix people, you
Hmm.
know, but it wasn't always what's the word the right person to fix, or I'll fix them for somebody else.
Mm.
So, and that's how I was doing a lot of, shadow working. I was denying people from left and right. I was being specific. I was like, I want a person that's on my same level. I wrote it down actually. I don't know where that book is, but I wrote down specifically like I want this person to cook. I want this. I want this to have in common. I want somebody that's on my level that wants the same thing. I wrote it down. I let it be. I kept on denying everything that wasn't it because again, that's a standard, right? You're like,
Correct.
why would I accept something that I don't want when I'm being specific? Like, universe, just give me this, please. Like, I will get
Correct.
everything,
Correct.
right? And then literally, I would say 9 months. It took 9 months because people keep on coming to me. I was like, no, thank you, no, thank you. I know what I want. That's it. I'm nowhere in my vibration, and this is what I want. 9 months
That's
later,
right.
I met her in March. No, sorry, in May 28th, 2022, and everything that I detailed, she was. And I was like, oh, okay. That's and literally I people actually laughed at my manifestation when I told them because in that time when I was healing, I was like, you know what? I want to get married. I'm done with this situationships. I'm done with this toxicity. I'm done, just friends with benefits, right? No,
Right.
I want a wife. And they laughed at like they was like, you're not gonna find you so used to like the toxic stuff, you're just gonna probably just do friends with benefits. I was like, okay, watch. That's all I said. I said, okay, watch. Not even when I met my partner and I was able to introduce her, I was like, oh yeah, this is my wife. The shockest face in the world.
Mm.
Told you. That's all I can say was told you. Because I believe myself. I already knew it. I wasn't going different routes and different paths. I already said, I'm going to have my wife. That's it. Now making 2 years next week. Come on, everything is possible. So self-worth and self-believing and putting that in line action and don't go different paths, making yourself confused and not believing the trust the process. things will happen.
You know what? That's definitely awesome too. And you raised a great point in which that you stated during your time of manifestation, there were other entities that came along the way. There was other people that try to come in and try to, get involved and try to holler, but you knew exactly on what you wanted. You was very specific about that. And so you denied all that. That
Yes.
is very powerful because, and I'm glad you mentioned that too, because when it comes to self belief and self worth, when you know as far as on what you want, right, and you're determined but also patient at the same time, as far as for getting what you want, the more specific that you are, the more clearer your creator can be like, okay, this person is serious. This is exactly on what they want. They got it down to a T, right? And it's something that the great ones, Bob Proctor, Eric Thomas, all the highly successful, they all teach that as well. The more specific you are, the more clear it is, and thus it can come to you at a much more rapid pace than as opposed because you're not being clear. Like you mentioned, you got so many different entities and different things that's bombarding you, and you just taking everything, right? Then it's gonna come so much more longer. It
Hmm.
takes a lot longer too, if
Yes.
it comes at all, because there was no clarity, there was confusion. So great point, great point, great point, great point. I want to ask you then a follow up question
Yeah.
because this actually ties into number five. How do you balance now, with that being said, taking inspired action with trusting the process of manifestation? How do you balance that out?
In the beginning, like I said, it was hard to balance, but it's also once you're in that frequency of knowing, I feel it's more easier to just let things flow in life. Again, I used to be a type of person that likes to control things. Like I'm very organized. I like planning things. I used to like get my own way because I would just want certain things a certain way instead of like letting the creator have more opportunities, more things than me instead of just one thing, you know?
Okay.
So having that trust and faith and knowing that you, like I said, write things down, saying I manifested. Say the more you know your power and you write things down, like I did this, even if it was something small, like I got extra $5, I needed that. Hey, it came somehow, right? Check off that. I got this, I got this new opportunity, keep on writing that. It makes you feel and also know that you're more powerful, that nothing's impossible, whether the price, the big, nothing's impossible. It just really depends on your frequency and your actual consistency on how to get it.
Powerful, powerful. Before we go ahead and move forward, I just want to go ahead and acknowledge as far as our listener audience here. So we have here D Cassandra S. Pickett, in which welcome, welcome, welcome. She just did a podcast on the Art of Forgiveness series. So she has been commenting with some great points. I just want to mention a few things before we move forward. She says here, stop limiting beliefs. You are worthy of anything you believe. Be specific of what you want. Absolutely. Knowing your frequency vibration, the self worth is self believing. I like that. Trusting the process. And we have the mad scientist himself, Dr. James McConnell, in which he says always more opportunities and know the vibration and frequency and trust the process. Awesome, awesome stuff. I want to ask you a follow up question too, because
Yes.
this is something too, and this is a question of my own, right?
Right.
When it comes to the music, because there's been many arguments, right, the types of frequencies in which you should listen to. Some would say, well, you shouldn't listen to 1,018, megahertz. Some people say 428. Some say 528. Some say 668. There's so many different distinctions in terms of the frequency. What
Right.
is your take on that when a person is looking to change their mindset and really looking to be that creator or that co-creator, right? In terms of vibration and frequency and manifestation. Is there any particular ones that caught your interest
Mm-hmm.
or
So
that worked for you?
So in the beginning, I started using 999 hertz, which is about letting go of things because you have to let go before you receive because it then becomes a pattern, right? And then I would do 528, which is acceptance, love, abundance, gratitude, and all of that. And then when it came to you know for example, $5,000, right? I would start listening to, 7 7 hertz, right? The frequency of luck, the abundance, I usually do them over sleep, 8 hours on YouTube, because I feel like it gets more in your mind when you're
It
sleeping,
does.
something, right?
Absolutely.
I don't know
Absolutely.
if you know that. So
It does. It does.
it works for me when I'm sleeping compared to like me listening to 10 minutes and I kind of get uninterested. When I'm sleeping, I'm just like, okay, I know I wake up and I'm on that vibration already. So I would say 7 7 hertz and including 8 8 hertz. Those are the ones that like I've been using consistently and definitely has worked.
Cool. Excellent. Excellent.
Big.
I just want to, I just want to, I just want to see if anybody in the listening audience has any questions about that in terms of like the different frequencies or whatever have you. If not, we'll go ahead and move along here. So it's looking like as of nothing as of yet. So we're going to move forward. Can you explain, Brianna, the importance of letting go and how it affects manifestation? This is a good one here, letting go, because that is not easy. Ooh, talk about it. Talk about it.
So let's just say I've learned most humans, including me, before I let go, has a lot of unhealed traumas, and if you don't let that go, it technically affects you to this day. Some people are not aware of it, and other teachers and coaches have to basically put online like this is what you have, this is the syndrome you have. Um, but if you don't like let go of that, then you can't be the person that you're trying to be. Basically, that's something. Like I said, I've learned that not doing my shadow work was, I would say, like maybe the worst of the things I did when it came to manifesting. When I was like 21 to like 26, I got more spiritually, aligned. But between 21 and 26, I just skipped over the whole letting go thing. Because again, I didn't have no guidance. So the first thing was just like manifesting angel numbers, this. And I was like, okay, I'm learning all this knowledge. And I seen a couple of videos of shadow work. I'm just like, I literally
Mm,
did. I don't need to. I don't need to like let go of things. I'm on my manifestation journey. I already know that this is gonna happen. And when I kept on ignoring it, all I kept on seeing was patterns of the things that I was trying to not be. Instead of being the person that I'm trying to be, I kept on seeing patterns of, the old Brianna. I'm just like, damn, like why things are not changing? I started to complain. I started being negative, you know,
mm,
in that low vibration. Like I keep on manifesting. Why is it not coming?
mhm,
Like
mhm,
I'm somewhat believing myself, right? Because if you don't let go, you really don't believe in yourself, right? So I'm somewhat believing myself. I'm somewhat doing the work, right? And not healing or not letting go did not really see that much results. So until I was like, like I said, this was 2020. That everybody was in the home, right? There was everything was down basically, and all you had was yourself, right? All you
correct. Mhm,
So it had me time to think, and I had to really reflect. That's something every person should do, even like every day. Just reflect on your day, reflect who you are, reflect on your goals. And I definitely reflected within COVID time, and I was like, why is these things happening? Why am I not seeing my manifestation? Like I'm doing the work, like I just don't get it because again I had no guidance. I just kept on seeing things and stuff like that. And I was like, maybe it's because I haven't did my shadow work. Maybe it's because I didn't release like old traumas, like since I was a child, my people pleasing stuff, all the things that have hurt me, the forgiveness, self worth. So for me, everybody's different, but for me,
mhm,
I journaled. That was my way of releasing. Some people might,
correct.
go to therapy. Some might do other things. There's different ways you could let go in life. People meditate, different ways to heal. But for me, it was writing because I'm a creative person. So I will have like, shadow work prompts, like how did this affect you when you was like 5 years old when this happened in school? And I was like, made me reflect because, this is now I'm 27. So now you think way back.
Mhm, mhm,
I was 5 years old that really made me to the person today. And once I started releasing, actual tears came out, right? I started feeling the energy pour out. And I'm just like, okay, keep on going, keep on going. And once I felt like I was comfortable enough to be the person that I am today, that's when I stopped. Sometimes, shadow work takes longer. It depends on the person. For me, it took 2 years to really become the person I am to, be at this moment, my authentic self. Before then, I was not my authentic self because I was, people pleasing. I was letting people take, what's the word, advantage of me. I didn't really have self. Now that's not happening because I already did my shadow work. But definitely letting go is everything. I can just say that.
Gotcha. Wow. Wow. That's pretty powerful. Pretty powerful. And we want to welcome here Ms. Bessie Sharp. Thank you so much for following us. She has been following me now, I believe, for about 2 or 3 weeks or about a month. And yes, so Bessie, what's the main topic of this broadcast? We have here our founder of Spiritual Mindset, the manifestation coach herself, Miss Brianna Rodriguez. And we're just talking about a multitude of different things, mostly on the art of manifestation. So she has really been given her areas of expertise on how to go about that. And if that's something in which that you may be of interest, by all means, please feel free to reach out to her, and she'll be more than happy to go ahead and walk you through like the introduction and anything else in which that you may want to know about manifestation, because it's a beautiful modality, if you will. It is something that's amazing. And when you really get to understand the art of manifestation, because we are co-creators with the creator, with the divine, with the universe, whatever you want to frame it, it is a beautiful thing. And one of the things in which I've learned, especially too during this month, is that whether positive or negative, whatever you put your most energy and emotions to, it's only going to magnify it even more, a whole lot more. And so, with that, you want to be very conscientious on how you are having your thoughts and what you're saying. It reminds me of Proverbs 18:21, in which that says, "Death and life is in the power of the tongue, and those who love from its fruits will eat from it." It's pretty much in accordance as far as with manifestation, because what we say and what we think about on a periodic basis and what we put our emotion and energy to, it has to magnify it and it has to show up. It has to show up. It's just like by doing these podcasts, right? The more and more in which that we do these podcasts, the more and more the audience comes about, the more exposure comes into play, the more through the art of repetition, whatever you we put into this, whether good or bad, it has to show up, because that's just the way it works through universal law. So Cassandra was saying, as far as, can you provide your social media handles? And also she said, yes, what are you speaking? Oh, I'm sorry. She was just commenting on as far as on what I said. Yes, it's what you're speaking. But Brianna, how can others get a hold of you if they would like to find out more about you and your creative works?
Yes. So I'm on mostly IG. So it'll be Cookie92594. Um, my link tree is there, so you'll see anything when it comes to my journal that I showed earlier, my podcast that I do on Acre as well, and this as well. And anything that I'm doing spiritually, whether it be, creating journals, apparel, and even if you need life coaching, you can always DM me, or even just speaking. You can just DM me and I'll be able to help you.
Excellent, excellent. I know you have an event in the summertime.
Yes. Yes, I
What would you like to share?
do. So since I'm from New York, I basically like grew up in public housing. So this is, like I said, I already know my reality, so my reality won't be here in New York next year because I'm on to better things and better energy that I've been feeling. So next year I'll be in PA, but this time this summer I do want to give back to my community that seen me like grow up to be the person that I am today, and have a wellness fair. It's gonna be in Staten Island, New York, specifically Man's Harbor in the big park. So you'll have your wellness. I'll be speaking about spiritual awakening, self love, mental health, um, manifestation techniques, crystal meditation. We'll also have vendors there, that are about wellness, healthiness, all different things. When it comes to mindset, it'll be there, and that'll be around mid-August. But I'll definitely be on my social medias once the actual day comes, but in August.
Awesome, awesome. And is there a cost for that associated with it?
So overall, just internal wellness, because overall I'm gonna have somebody that's speaking about mental health, nutrition, spirituality, but overall it's an internal wellness fair. So I just don't want to say one, specific thing because everybody needs it, especially coming from my community. It's not really aware. I'll say that. So that's my way of giving back.
Excellent, excellent, excellent. And before we go ahead and end this, because I believe this was very informative, any last words for your listening audience, that any takeaways you would like to leave for them?
Yes. One, let go of things that no longer serve you. No matter how, hard headed it could be, because I was hard headed. That's needed to let go. Find your self worth, believe in yourself, and know over time that, like you said, everything will come to fruition. You just gotta put the work in. That's it.
Excellent, excellent. Well, family, this has been a very informative and very good podcast. So we're going to end this. This is episode 252 or 252 of Transformation Greatness and SB the Small Business Network podcast. We want to thank our very special guest, the founder of Spiritual Manifest. I'm sorry, Mindset, the manifestation coach, Brianna Rodriguez. Please make sure that you follow her on her social media platforms and leave a comment as well if this has brought any kind of value whatsoever. Please go ahead and like and share this out to your organizations or those that you feel that can benefit from it. And we're going to end this segment like we do all of our others. And if what we stated on here either motivated, transformed, or inspired at least one person, well, then, may God be the glory, and we take no credit for absolutely none of it. Until then, you're all amazing. Thank you so much for your time. By His grace and mercy, look forward to seeing you all on the next episode. Happy Memorial Day weekend, everybody.
Every day.
Peace and love.